And customer care is where we distinguish ourselves, where we make ourselves part of the fabric of their lives, so to speak. And I, for 18 years, sold for the same company. I don't know if I told this in Nashville. I'll do it quickly. And left the field, pursued other things, and had, tons of people, but one particular family, the daughter, cousins, aunts, whatever, just tons of parties with them over the years. And so not too long ago, my phone rang, and this is actually on my blog. It's about a year ago. You can look it up. My phone rang, and it was the daughter. And I said, "Hey, Tracy, how are you?" And she said, "Well, not too good." And I said, "Well, what's the matter?" And she said, "Mom's passed away." And I was like, oh, that's, so sad. I was part of their lives for 15 years. And I had this moment where I was terrified she was going to ask me to do the makeup, because that wouldn't be the first time somebody ever asked me. But she didn't. She said, "I just wanted you to know it would mean a lot to me, and it would have meant a lot to Mom for you to be there." And I said, "Of course, when is it?" And I, found out when visitation was and when the funeral was. And it just struck me that of all the people Tracy could have called, she called her lipstick lady her makeup lady. So what does that say about the relationships that you can build? And so truly, a client for life. Carolyn was my client for life. And I was one of the first phone calls her daughter made when she passed away. That's precious to me. That's a gift in this business. And you can't have that if you don't reach out to people and make yourselves part of their life. So we do that really through customer care. And here's my little graphic. Don't be a hit and run designer. And isn't that what you do when you sell them something one night and then you never call them back? You're a hit and run designer. And I promise you, there's a woman you sold something to, saying, "Gosh, I wish I could find that girl's phone number. It would be perfect for whatever." And she's heading to the department store to try and find a supplement for that product because she can't find you because you don't want to bother her, right? So we've got to let go of bothering. That, again, is rooted in fear of rejection, that we don't want to hear that she doesn't want to hear from us, and we don't want to hear that she didn't like our product because it's going to hurt our feelings, right? Because this is very personal to us. So we don't follow up. So good customer care creates really the relationship. It is part of the business cycle. And here's the great thing. When you take care of your customers, they turn you back on to bookings, consultants, more sales. It feeds itself. So you're not doing that trade show method of trade show back to base, trade show back to base. The cycle feeds itself, and the business starts to feel very, very easy. And it really lets people know you care. That's the difference between you and the girl at the department store, or you and the Stella and Dot lady. Not that she's not a nice lady, but it is that you care about your customers, that you care about them after you sell them $100. That's what makes the difference. What are you going to do for me now that you have my money? So what does it say to her when you never call her again? Thanks, appreciate it. Think about it. Think about it for a second. How does that make you feel? So we don't call them back because we don't want to bug them. They're not thinking, "Gosh, I'm glad that girl never called me and bugged me," right? They're thinking, "Wish I could find her phone number." And we tell ourselves if they want something, they would call us. Is that their job to call us? It's our job to call them, right? To consult. So what do you do after the sale? I hear some crazy stuff, so I'm sure y'all don't do this, so I'm just going to cover it. You want to ensure a complete data capture. Well, sometimes I talk to groups, and I do a lot of web training for teams, and so I'll go, a team leader will hire me, and I'll do a training. And they'll, in the Q&A on customer care, they'll say, "Well, I don't have any phone numbers or email addresses from people." What? What do you mean you don't have any contact information from people that bought from you? I mean, you took a credit card. You have to have a billing zip code. It's like the law, right? Crazy. So ensure a complete data capture. Name, phone number, email address, anything that you can harvest there. Complete the paperwork immediately. It's really hard to effectively follow up when once a month we dig through our 18-inch high stack of paperwork that we haven't looked at all month. Really hard to be effective in our follow-up. You want to go home immediately, do that paperwork within 24 hours, and tickle it on the follow-up calendar. Back to that monthly planner. Today is Saturday. We'll call this a fashion event. On Monday, I tickle my calendar to call all of you all and say, "Hey, just wanted to say how nice it was to meet you. What a great time I had meeting you at Dave's party," right? But we've got to be a little bit organized to get that done. So the first call is within 2 days of the sale. It's that warm, fuzzy call just to say thank you. When's the last time you purchased something that wasn't a car and they called you to thank you afterwards? When you buy a car, they always call and thank you afterwards for the most part because they really want you to come buy another car. So just call to say thank you. We're not trying to sell her anything or anything like that. I know some of y'all do it a couple of different ways. Most of you all are ordering, taking the order and they ship it, right? Or you're delivering on the site. Okay. Okay, so depending on what you're doing, this is if you turn the order into the company and the company ships it, which I highly recommend. Dollar per hour is much, much higher that way than you running all over town delivering stuff. So within 2 days of the sale, this is a thank you. Here's our product. Our products will be in. They're on order. They'll be in on Thursday. I'll call and touch base after you receive your order to make sure everything is perfect, right? So you're setting the expectation that you're going to hear from me. I'm not going to fall off the planet. So then 2 days after the delivery, I hate when it does that. It's not timing in right. And I've done this slide about 100 times, so it should be. All right, so within 2 days of delivery, and the purpose really is to say thank you again to, no, slide's not right. Don't even worry about that. Don't even take a picture of it. It's wrong. So the purpose here is to make sure that her order came in intact, that there is not anything wrong with it, and that she's opened the box, right? If she leaves a box sitting on the table for 6 weeks and never wears it, is that good advertisement for you? No, not at all. So you've got to be sure she opens it up and plays with it. What are you going to wear it with tomorrow? How excited are you, right? Those conversations. So that's the 2 days to make sure she got it, nothing's wrong with it, and that she's actually opened the box. All right. I don't know what happened with that other slide. All right. Within 2 weeks, the purpose now is just to double check product satisfaction, particularly with costume jewelry. It's very affected by the acidity of their skin, makeup, perfume, if they swim in it, play tennis, you know. I went in the ocean and it tarnished. Really? Go figure. Yeah, that's definitely a product quality issue, isn't it? So double check her product satisfaction, that nothing has happened along the way. You don't want someone out there with a problem with her product, because she'll tell everybody, oh, I bought one of those and I can't get a hold of the girl. She hasn't tried, but you haven't called her and she's telling everybody she can't get a hold of you. This is a great time to obtain additional sales. Why? 2 weeks. What's happened?
She's showed it to other people. Somebody's seen it that wasn't at the party.
Yes, and she's gotten paid again probably too, right? Yes, she's got another paycheck, or her husband does, whoever, two new paychecks. So it's a great time for additional sales. Also a great time for bookings. Like she said, she's shown it to people. They're saying, ooh, that's so cute. Are you doing one of those? How can I see that? Where'd you get it from? When's the next one, right? So you call her and say, tell me where you wore your jewelry. What's everybody saying about it? Oh, 3 of the girls at the office want a catalog. I'd love to bring you some catalogs. Ooh, I know what. Why don't you get them together for me? Why don't I come by during lunch and we'll do a little luncheon thing? I'll bring the sandwiches. How does that sound? Ooh, that sounds fun, right? So more bookings, more sales, more bookings, referrals if she doesn't want to book. Great. Let me get the information of those ladies. I'll send them a catalog and follow up. I'll send them a link to my website. Don't just pass out catalogs. You need the digits. The digits, man, the 411. And then within 2 months of the call, there's probably new product. There's a new special. She needs to know that you're not going to go away, not in a bad way, but that you're going to come back around and see if there's anything else you can help her with. You want to call her with things like, oh, the whole new fall collection's out, or the holiday collection is out, or wait till you see the hostess special, or you won't believe such and such is 50% off. Every month you should be having those conversations with your customers to keep them in the know. We rely so much on email stuff, and it's just spam at the end of the day. You know, you're just spamming them. That doesn't speak to them. They don't feel special that you sent them an email, right? So current specials, great time to get new bookings. Good hostesses will host for you once every 6 months or once a quarter. If you have something, if you just give them a reason, right, to do something new. And then finally, quarterly. So you've gotten her in the schedule. You've talked to her 3 to 4 times, depending on what your inventory model is like. And now just quarterly, you're going to make contact with her. And people say, you know, I have all these clients. We're really talking about people who have purchased from you. Here's my little rule of thumb. I would do newsletters or whatever 3 times to someone. If I didn't get any kind of response, I would call them and say, are you receiving the newsletter? You've got to mix in phone calls with this. Catalogs go in the trash, and it's expensive to do a catalog campaign. And newsletters, email things, they don't get read. You know, my inbox is full of stuff. And if that email hits her on the wrong day, like there seems to be a day of the month where my inbox is full of every newsletter from every company in the world, I'll just get in a little irritated mood and I'll just undo all of them. I'll just opt out of all of them because I'm just, you know, there's 11 in my mailbox, and to me now they're all the same. So it isn't you from Mialisia sending me something, it's more junk in my mailbox. Let me just go through, y'all ever do that? And opt out of all these? Everybody's shaking their head, right? When I call and say, hey, I sent you a newsletter, did you get it? Now I'm not Finger Hut or whatever else is in my mailbox. Now I'm making a personal connection with her. So it all comes back to phone calls and personal connections with people. Stay in front of her and really take care of her. Customer care really is customer care. It's not sales. It's taking care of people, making them clients for life. Quarterly newsletter and e-newsletter is great. Catalog mailing periodically. But pair it with a phone call. I really recommend that once a quarter, and I know y'all are all really new, so you can start it out right. Once a quarter, I would do my own client event. It doesn't have to be grandiose and major. It can be a party at your house where you invite your customers. They can come and see what's new, and you can treat them well, make them feel special, and take care of them a little bit. How easy is that? So that's really about all I'll say about customer care for today. We could spend 3 hours on customer care, but just in closing, take care of your customers and they will take care of you. And again, when you do these things, the business just gets easy, right? All right, who's next?